Okay, I'm a bit lost. Anyway, Dragon Slayer Gaiden Nemuri no Oukan. Short word about this game. Before this game, Epoch ported Nihon Falcom's Dragon Slayer to the Game Boy, which was the supposedly first action RPG ever made. And later they developed this sequel to it. So we're gonna start a new game, and I'm gonna name our character Hart. And he's gonna be a knight, so let's get started. And now, intro cutscene. I press A, nothing happens. Press start, nothing. A plus start, it's skipped. How is it? I have no idea. Oops. And first thing I need to do is actually change options, so instead of scrolling through screens, it blinks. And just get a sword. So I got a sword, but I also need armor and shield. And luckily there is just that in the castle's armory. So I'm gonna borrow those. And now just equip this all. And now, save the game, soft reset. Just to skip on walking around. And we have this puny little sword. And first thing we're gonna do is go north and talk to this guy here. I don't even know what he's saying, but he gives us something. We're gonna go with this something to a waterfall and then back here to open the entrance to the cave, because this black tar or something is blocking it. Yes, Legacy of the Wizard is part of the Dragon Slayer series. It was actually released in Japan as Dragon Slayer for Drassel family. And I actually never played it. I should someday. Generally, Falcom games are really good. And yeah, this game has really good graphics and really good music. However, its movement is really weird because it's grid based, like totally. It might seem fluid when I walk, and this guy just had to be in the way. But I'm actually moving from square to square, which limits you a little. And coming up is the toughest boss in the Night Road, Goblin. He's tough because he fires fireballs which move around at random. And my strat is to just stand here and fire at will. And also not die. Dying would be bad. And so far it's pretty bad. I'm almost dead. Okay, I need to move here. And I just died. This boss is pure RNG, so... Well, let's talk about leveling up in this game. So, you level up after you kill 100 non-boss enemies of any kind. However, if you kill a boss, you have different level up, because normal only increases your life and mana. Boss level up also increases attack and defense. And because there are no optional bosses, you essentially don't grind at all. I just sometimes kill enemies who are on my way, but that's it. Okay, Goblin take 2. Let's go. Okay, Goblin is dead. We pick this thing, save, and quit out. So now we have to go around and talk to people. Because triggers. So to trigger going to the next area, first I need to talk to this guy. Now I need to talk to this old lady. And also for whatever reason, I also need to talk to this lady in the bed. And I'm gonna save and quit now because that old lady is always blocking the exit. If I don't. And also for marathon safety I'm gonna buy a healing spell. Because after this boss we got this thing we don't need, which is worth a lot of money. And now we go talk to the king himself. He says something and gives us a pass. Another save and quit. And now we can proceed to the next area. So, this game has some mediocre walkthrough on GameFAQs, but no fun translation whatsoever. And toughest part of the run is knowing which item to use when. We showed the pass, at least I think it's what it was. And now we're gonna fight the boss I call Lubu, because he looks a bit Chinese to me. And first we have to solve the riddle of his. I'm gonna for safety stand here. I could play more risky and stand closer to him, but it's not worth it. And now we go to this tree, which is inhabited by those pixies, I think. And we're actually gonna fight a dragon here, but first we need to rescue some old lady who has a key to local treasury, where I'll be able to obtain new set of armor and weapon. Okay, now which one of this is a key? It was this one, okay. So now here we have a new set of equipment and some item. I think it's the same thing I sold earlier to obtain healing spell. So let's talk about healing spells, because there are spells in this game and there's a wizard class which has a handful of spells available. And every other class only has 2 spells, heal and bigger heal. Heal costs 4 MP and heals 10, bigger heal costs 10 MP and heals 100. And that's all there is to magic in this game. And I only really need this heal spell for this coming up boss. Afterwards it becomes useless, so I'm gonna sell it when I can buy better spell, because Greater's heal is very useful spell. And here we have, I call him Wood Dragon because he's inside of a tree. And my strat for him is just to tank him. I can't... Problem is my sword is short and I can't really get closer because he's gonna body me. But it wasn't too bad. And we also obtained some orb. What's the purpose of that orb? I don't know. I can't speak Japanese, so I don't know the plot of this game. Another save and quit. And now we're gonna head south of this town. Normally we couldn't go there because there was a big boulder, and it's still there. But now some weird wizard appears. And he just destroyed this boulder for us. So now I'm gonna go to this town to buy a better sword and also sell things. This. And now I'm also gonna talk to this pirate. We have to help him to progress because he has the key. And also this sword has slightly longer range, which is always good. It's actually more like Final Fantasy Adventure because it's an action RPG, not turn-based like Legends. But yeah, it's very similar. Oops, I screwed up boss a little. I'm supposed to go here. So here he sets his position when I'm off the arena in this corner. Normally he just chases me around and is very dangerous. But I just cheesed him like that. However, we haven't defeated him, he just ran away. We're gonna fight him again, right now. But first I need to show pass to this town. And first thing, I'm gonna sell my heal spell and my sword to buy even better sword. And that's how there's okay-ish walkthrough on GameFAQs which I used, and then it was also a lot of trial and error. Oops. Oh, I don't have enough money to buy a heal spell. Well, okay. Yes, I just remembered that I forgot to pick up a treasure. Well, whatever. I'll pick it later. So this boss, it's the same guy, but now he also fires fireballs, but as long as I stay here, he won't hit me with those. Also, I need to be careful because he can easily kill me. So, for defeating this boss we got the best sword in the whole game. You'll see why shortly. And also interesting thing, I didn't rest in this town's inn, but for whatever reason, when I save and quit now, I'm gonna appear in this town, not in starting town. Why? Honestly, I have no clue, but it works for me. And I'm gonna equip the new sword. I was thinking about selling the old sword and buying the healing spell now, but I can do that later. So I'm not gonna use this new sword until the boss, just so you can wait to see how powerful it is. Because this sword I have now is something else. And that was thing I forgot to pick up. Oops. Oops, wrong staircase. Okay, so now I need... Oops, I accidentally used the sword. Is so nothing. Anyway, now this puzzle. I have to pick up 3 answers, they are always the same. And use the statue. So, as you saw, some fireballs were flying, so this sword sends out homing fireballs. And because I'm off arena, boss won't chase me, he'll just stand there. And he's dead. Well, sometimes you don't even have to memorize the signs, like the puzzle you saw earlier, I just remembered the position of answers. Okay, so now we're gonna go to this house, where's the pirate we met earlier. Now we have his treasure, so he'll repay us by giving us a new sword. This one doesn't shoot homing projectiles, but going straight line and bouncing around crystals. However, it's very useful for the next boss. And only next boss. Oops, I forgot to sell stuff. And now this fire appeared. But we got this thing which will allow us to summon rain and open the entrance to the cave below this fissure. So there's a new shield and armor that can be found here, but I'll be only getting armor because shield is totally off the way. Oops. So now I went here just to grab this armor. Okay, just to toughen myself up a bit. So, as I said, I'm gonna be using this sword only for this boss, and that's because it's a fire dragon. And as you can see, as you can imagine, it's pretty well protected against fire. I actually heard about this series Zoids, but I know nothing about it. I know that there is some game from this series on the NES. And fun fact about this boss, when I originally was routing this game without save and quit, he was always firing with upper head, but now that I'm using save and quits, he always fires with lower head. Why is it? I have no idea. But as you just saw, he died rather quick. All thanks to my fancy sword. And now we got second door, but this guy came and robbed us from both. We'll meet him later, but for now, let's just move on. Where did I learn about this game? I don't even remember. Oops, no, I have to go up, not down. I found out about this game over 2 years ago. I think it might be a combination of fact that it's related to Falcom's series, Dragon Slayer, and also my general attractiveness to top-down action games. So now we're stranded on this island, and first thing we need to do is go up to a chicken house and pick up something that's in this house. I have no idea what is it and why we need it, but it's here. Hey, Frico, before that there was F-Zero, it was hella cool. Ah, and also I'm gonna switch back to my fire sword because this boss is annoying, so I'm gonna chase it with fire. And it's a giant rat. And the rat is gone. So, if we went to the weapon shop, the clerk would tell us, ask us if we could kill that rat we just did. And he will reward us now. Yes, it's like Final Fantasy Adventure Rubble. So now we have to use one of those things. Wait, no, not this one. Oops. No, this is healing thing? Okay. And now we repaired ship and we can move on. Also, I just remembered... Oh. I haven't opened the thing for the coming up boss. Because coming up boss is a sphinx. He asks 3 questions and I have to answer them. And I forgot to open my chart for it. But before that boss we have to go to some underground place. This here. And now, after we go here, we can go to some other place I like to call Pantheon, because it looks pretty Greekish from the overworld. There we will fight 2 bosses. One guy I call Templar Knight and Sphinx. They'll give us the best armor and shield in the game, and then we'll come back here for the best sword in the game. This place is actually a bit of a puzzle. You talk to those statues and you say yes, door on the right opens. You say no, on the left. And there are 2 bosses, so I have to go twice through it. Luckily, after defeating one boss I can just exit their room and I'm back to the start. And this is Templar Knight. He would go at our position, then back to his initial position, and so on. But I like just to chase him like this. I actually sometimes ago found faster strat with buying new sword in town, but you have to mash really good for it, and I wasn't able to pull it consistently. Because it actually seems like that you don't have to just mash fast, but also in some rhythm. Which I can't get really. Okay, notes. Okay, let me look up now a chart for the Sphinx. Okay. And we're back to the start. And now we're gonna go the right path to reach the Sphinx. Okay, so the answer is determined by the first line. One word, third answer. Two and first doesn't have two dots above it, first one. Okay, easy boss. So now we're gonna get the best sword in the game. And you're probably thinking, can there be a better sword than one shooting homing fireballs? Well, just you see. Okay, equip this thing. Wait, it's this one? Oops, that's some old armor. And we're good to go to the next part. So, you may ask, how good is this sword? It obliterates everything on screen. Just like this. Only non-boss enemy which can survive one shot is one Chimera in the final dungeon. It takes two. So I'm gonna rest here to make a warp point. And now we're gonna go to some sort of a light tower. And funny thing, enemies in this tower are all enemies you encounter in the first area of the game. Easiest enemies in the whole game. I totally don't understand why, but it's that. And here's the boss of this tower. Don't blink or you may miss it. Frika, you probably weren't earlier. So there are two kinds of level ups. One if you kill 100 of any enemies, but it only levels health and mana. And level ups from killing bosses, which level up mana, health, attack and defense, so no point in grinding. And now I use this thing to light up the beacon. And now some of the snow in the village melted, so I can enter the store. And buy whatever this is to open door to the next dungeon. Also, seems like my stream is fair bit behind the chat. Either way, here we use that thing we just bought to melt the ice and Ice Palace. And it's actually quite a maze compared to other dungeons. Pretty much first dungeon when you can legitly get lost. Luckily I remember where to go. So we open this chest and suddenly we're in the starting castle. And this guy is on the stairs. Rude. However, something's wrong, because now a demon appeared. Luckily this demon is a pushover. So if I didn't have this powerful sword, I would have to hit the king actually. And now this evil sorcerer. And now he turned into a snake. And I also ran this with an archer, and this fight is better with archer because I have really nice setup for killing him quick, but here I just stand and mash. Okay, last save and quit. And now I'm actually gonna use this thing to teleport back to start. What we have to do now is go to one village in the middle of nowhere, which I skipped, talk to one person in one random house, and we're gonna be able to proceed to final dungeon. Village that I skipped earlier because there is literally nothing in here. Except this house right now. Where is this person? And we're off to the final dungeon, which I think is some floating island. And it's a pretty long, mazy dungeon. Luckily I remember precisely where to go. And so far this is pretty good pace, not gonna lie. I even forget what my PB is, 42 something I think, or maybe 4150 something. Well, I don't think I'm gonna PB either way. Now we're in this crystal thing, and that's where real fun begins, because it's even bigger maze than... Oops, that's wrong way, than previous thing. And I haven't played this game in a while, so... There's a small chance I'll get lost. Wait, no. I'm already getting lost. But I should be fine, I think. Okay, there are two bosses in this dungeon actually. And here's the first one. Zombie Dragon. And as you can imagine, it's as easy as any other boss with Knight. His weak spot is that orb he holds. And he's dead. And now time for the actual final boss, which is a giant demon. And his weak spot is actually hidden right now. Because it's a worm inside him and I need to heal. This thing that just popped out of it. This fight is very easy with Archer because he fires a lot of projectiles and some sort of sprite overload happens and boss doesn't shoot anything, so it's easier in that regard. Oops, I need to heal. And no, other characters aren't as broken as Knight. Okay, we're almost done. I split when the boss starts exploding. So yeah, 33:17. Pretty good time considering I died on first boss. So I guess enjoy the ending.